Okay, what we're going to be working on today is drawing a wine bottle and designing a wine bottle rack. So, first off, to start out with this project, you probably need to draw the wine bottle so you guys can figure out how big the wine rack needs to be. So I have not the exact dimensions, but what I found out for the dimensions for the wine bottle. So it's 2.3/4 inch diameter base, 7.5 inches before it starts curving in, 1.5 inches curving, and then 2.75 for the bottleneck. And the bottleneck's diameter is 1 inch. Again, you guys will have this in PDF format hopefully, so you guys can work from that. First of all, I'll just show you how I drew this out. That way it'll be easier for you to do also. So basically I started with the base. I had my ortho on. I started with my line command. Went down 2.75. Then I went up 7.5. I went across 2.75. Oops. Did a comma. That's going to cause problems. 2.75, and I closed it up. From the center point, I drew up 1.5, so that's the curving distance, and then 2.75 for the actual bottleneck. I got offset these both to get the actual thickness, so I do offset 0.5. Offset this one way, the other, one way, the other. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect in size and specific that radius. I'm not sure if that's correct. Kind of hard to dimension a wine bottle and find its radius unless I cut it in half. Here we go, closing that up. So I have something basic like this. Now I just have to figure out how I'm going to draw this curve. I'll need these two lines really. Actually, I might need them, but they're just a reference so I can see how much I need. So basically what I did was I made a halfway point in between these two segments and this one, these two. So I do half of 1.5, which is 0.75. From there, I decided, because I was testing it before, I drew a line over here, back, and I moved this over, because it was 2.75, so it's minus, divided by 2, 1.375 minus half an inch, it was like 125 or something like that. Whatever, I just moved it over about half an inch, and I tried using my arc, 3-point arc, to design this curve, and you can see that it didn't come out right, so I just had to move this a little bit higher, and that looks quite a bit better. I can actually, let me just dimension it to see if I got the same thing. It's not the same thing, but it might actually look better. So we'll delete the rest of the stuff, the lines I used. Delete that, and I'm going to actually do a mirror command. So I select that, I go to mirror, and I mirror it from the center point, midpoint of that line. Click it. And space for, no, I don't want to erase my original. It's asking me to erase source object. And I said no, and that's my bottle. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but something close to it. That way your wine rack isn't off, and you can use these bottles for actual visual appeal. So next step, after I have the outline of the bottle, I will copy it. I'll just keep this one as a, just in case I need it, and I'm going to delete one side of it. Delete like so. I'm going to draw a line right through the middle, like so, and I'm going to trim over the rest. So I go to trim command. I just select the whole object. It's so much easier if you do it this way. Hit space, just like that, bottom and top. Delete this line, I don't need this anymore. And now you guys can see that it's exactly half of a wine bottle. I'm going to give it a thickness, so I gotta actually delete the top because it's actually opened. I mean, I could keep it closed, but I'm gonna leave it open. I'm gonna go with a thickness of, I don't know, let's say 1.25. That's fine. I mean, as long as it has some thickness. So I offset each one, but they crisscross each other. So I'm going to use a fillet, and I'm going to set the fillet at 0. That way I can actually make perfect right angles and close it up. Do one here just in case. You guys can see it's overlapping. Now it's fixed. Again here. And here I just gotta cap it, so I gotta close that up. Gotta make sure my base is closed. Nope, not, so I have to close that up. So I have an exact thickness. If I did a cut of a wine bottle and I did a quarter of it, that would be what it looks like. Now, if I want to revolve it and actually make a solid object, what I need to do is make this a polyline. There's two options you can actually 3 options you can do. I'll show all 3, that way you guys can understand this better. One option is typing in pedit, which is polyline edit. You type in M for multiple, enter. You select your whole item, enter. And it's going to ask you convert lines, arcs to polylines, yes, enter. And J for join, enter, enter, enter. So now it's actually a polyline. Another option, I'm going to make a copy. Explode this so it's segmented lines. Another option is go to your region command right here, and you just, oops, what happened here? I think I clicked F1. Region, and I select the whole region, the whole object. Click enter, and it should create a polyline also. The third option is actually the most work, so I'm not going to really show it to you, but the most important aspects of it is just tracing it with a polyline. What I like to do is, let's see, oh, that's okay. I usually try to change the layer so it's easier to see where I started and where I ended, but I'm not going to do that. It's going to take too much time. But let's say if I start from this point, I go down, go down, and I got this arc. To get this arc, what I have to do is type in A, one of your options, A for arc, and just select like the end of the arc right there. Don't worry, I can fix that. I'll stretch it over. So now I'm still an arc, so it's going to draw an arc. I type in L for line, gets me back to line, and I keep going, blah blah blah. I screwed that one up, you can see that, but that's okay. This is just a demo of it. I'll select this arc from the center point and attach it back. So you can see that I could fix it later on. So that's the one that doesn't actually work. So I'm going to delete it. I'll use this one. I'll select it, and I have actually, in the solid options, should have a revolve right here. Or you can type it in, or you can go to draw, modeling, revolve. I'm going to use the center of the base and just type in enter for space. And actually I have a glass bottle, wine bottle. I can go visual style view, visual style conceptual, and you can see it's a bottle. And I'll show you guys how to slice and we'll work on this a little bit more.